All right, for the next segment today, we're going to talk a little bit about reselling and garage/estate sales. I think, me and Art go to garage sales every week on Fridays.
And all of us sort of just support ourselves with the side hustle of reselling in some way, shape, or form until such a time that the podcast makes up for those costs in our lives.
So soon.
Oh, any day now.
Oh, we're at 62 subscribers. We need to be at about, what, million?
63?
No, a little more than that.
Oh, more?
Yeah.
So the money's not going to start rolling in yet?
Oh, not yet, but we're almost there. So I got to support
In the meantime,
my video game habit by selling on eBay.
In the meantime, we have no kink guard hoses.
Well, yeah. Wow, you're jumping right in. Jesus. We're going to talk a little bit about, how we set things up.
No, I know.
What we're going to do is eventually we're going to show pictures of some of the stuff we picked up in the last couple weeks and kind of give an idea what we paid for it, what we think it's worth, if it's going to be easy for me to sell because I collect a lot of shit. So we'll see how that plays out.
And Steve will teach you how to lowball and then get away with it.
That reminds me, I have that trunk full of free stuff that I got to show you.
Oh, the free trunk.
Careful. Don't walk up to people's trunks. You'll get
I'm
trained
taking
Dexter style.
taking a witness with me. Always bring a buddy when someone asks you to go to their trunk. Yeah, that's weird.
Yep.
But yeah, every Wednesday we start looking for sales for the weekend, and we go on there and make a list and try to figure out where a majority of them are and kind of stick to that area. I don't like driving like one in Verona, then one in North Utica, and one in Remsen. That's a pain in the ass. So we try to stick with one area, and hopefully that's where the bulk.
And not
of the
very
sales
cost
are.
effective either.
Especially if they have nothing, then you drove an extra half hour and didn't buy anything. Which I used to buy. I used to buy something at almost every sale I went to.
You've done a lot better.
I've gotten a lot better with that, so I just don't buy crap.
What if they're...
We always made money on it, I think. Or for the most part,
we didn't lose money, but it's still...
There's a lot of things you used to buy that weren't easy to package.
Right. And that is a big thing, too, I think.
So what if they're conflicting times, though? You want to go to all the different stuff, but they're all at the same day.
Well, that's just...
You got to pick the one that you like the most, yeah. There are times that we've split up, too.
We have. Like on the weekend, like on Saturdays, I'll go, and Art will go separately, and try to find some stuff that way, but all in all, I think it's like a big treasure hunt, and I really enjoy doing it. Honestly, I think I do it more for that aspect of it than the actual selling.
That's the only part you really enjoy.
I love finding stuff. Yeah, I just love going out there, and you walk up and you see something crazy, and you're like, oh my god.
To date, what would you say your best buy to value ratio has been? If you had to pick one thing.
Well,
probably still that for you. That picture, that
pictures for me personally, but for our store, we bought a video game store. A guy owned a video game store in
that was
Hartford.
A little different.
That was a little different, but it was technically a garage sale because he listed it on Facebook Marketplace as a garage sale. He basically was just selling all the inventory from his store that had already closed. So I sent him a message the night before the sale, and I'm like, "Hey man, are you interested in selling everything at one time?" So we kind of went back and forth a little bit, but he invited us to come over the night before the sale and look at everything.
And that was a big purchase.
That was huge. Yeah. So he had thousands and thousands of items. So we basically talked about it for a while, and we agreed on a price of about $7,000 for everything that he had.
Nice.
So I had Art go to the bank. I'm like, Art, go get $7,000.
And this is like a Thursday afternoon at 3:30.
Get your ass down to the bank.
He goes, I'm going to go right there to meet this guy. Meet me there as soon as you can.
So we ended up working out that deal, and it took, what did we fill up? We filled up my pickup truck inside and the bed 3 or 4 times.
And my car.
And his car a few times. But there, like I said, when I said there was probably 10,000 items.
Easily.
So we had the entire garage full.
So
the process of going through all that, we don't really sell anything on eBay that's worth less than $10.
Okay.
It's just not worth it. Unless we can bundle something together, we have to get to that $10 price point. So we tried to go through all the games and find out what they were worth and put the really good ones aside. There was a ton of Pokemon stuff in there, which was great. Some controllers, some consoles that were worth quite a bit. But there was a lot of shitty old sports games too. So we ended up doing a marketplace listing, and we probably had 2,000-3,000 games in that listing. We just took pictures.
I don't know how many, but the guy that came with an SUV.
Yep.
And it was so full that we were sliding single individual games in to try to finish. There was that many games.
But I think that we did that twice.
Well, we did that
bulk.
We did that.
Bulk games. We did that, and we sold that for
$2,000, I think. Yeah.
So we got 2,000 of our 7,000 back immediately just on junk.
And then you started selling the good stuff.
Yes, yeah, and there was a lot of good stuff.
And then at the other end, we did all the systems that you didn't want to list. Which I don't remember how many.
There were probably 60, 70 systems, easy. And we have to go through and test every single one of those.
But the funny thing is, so we put it on Marketplace. The first bunch of games were all at my house, stored in my shed. So the guy comes, picks them all up. And like I said, we were filling it. He did good. Now, 2 years later-ish, we list all these the games or systems. We had them here in his shed. This person comes to buy them, same guy.
Yeah.
Same guy. He goes, oh, yeah, I bought a bunch of video games here. I'm like, yeah, that was us.
Yeah, that was us. We sold them to. Yeah.
So he said he did really good on the games, too. You know,
some people don't mind selling like $3 or $4 games. I just don't think it's worth the time, especially when you have so much stuff listed.
But I'm sure if he was willing to go through that, he made good money.
He probably could have doubled his money.
And he was very happy with the deal.
Yeah, we were under like $1 a game.
Oh, yeah.
So we were, and he probably, even if he sold them for $3 a game, he's tripling his money. But that just takes, I mean, it took us, we still have a few things left, not much. But it took us all, 3 years to sell all that. And go through it, itemize it.
But we did really well.
Yeah, we're up, God, I don't know, it was like 50 grand on all that after total sales.
Really? You bought that resurfacer?
Oh, yeah, because a lot of the discs are scratched. Yeah. So we bought, what the hell? I forgot the name of it. It just just shines up and resurfaces game discs. You put it in there and it spins.
But it does a great job.
Oh yeah, that thing is paid for itself. Tenfold. It was like $200 maybe for that thing, and that really cleans the discs up. But that was probably our biggest. My personal biggest one was probably like Art said. I bought a painting at a garage sale. I saw
what was
I saw it on a Friday. It was a big like a graffiti art Statue of Liberty painting, and I'm like, oh, that is really cool. And then I looked at the price, and they're like $5. I'm like, oh, I ain't spent $5. That's $5. I made a money over here. So then we went back around the next day, and their whole sale was 50% off everything.
So $250.
So I rolled up. I'm like, oh, $250. I can make that work. And then I ended up selling that for like $400.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a good. It was a well-known graffiti artist.
Oh.
I didn't know at the time. I don't really know anything about art except this one. I know too much about this one.
Oh boy.
So I'm not good.
Well, yeah. So both of those sound like really good percentages based on purchase.
What about the one action figure sale that I went to in Marcy? Was that in
Marcy? I don't think the profit margin was as high.
But we got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, we got some inbox Star Wars like Black Series.
We were going to garage sales that morning, so I was going to meet him, and did you tell me to go to this sale? You said, hey, this guy has toys listed. Hit it first.
That's possible. It might have been on the way to my house or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I get there, and it is just cool. All these kind of figures like he has here, great stuff everywhere, table after table. I'm like, I called him up. I go, you got to get here right now.
Oh no, that was in Marcy.
Yeah,
that's the one I met you. I remember. We actually know. I don't want to say his name because I don't want him to get mad. But we found out that it was the parents of the house selling their kid stuff, and my brother is really good friends with this kid. Oh. But and then when we were buying the stuff, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to send him a message and say I bought all your stuff. And the mother's like, don't send him anything. He doesn't know we're selling it.
Oh.
I go, oh, I don't know. I don't really know if I should be buying it then because I would have felt bad. And she goes, well, if you don't buy it, someone he doesn't know is going to buy it because we're selling everything. So I'm like, all right, I guess so. We ended up, it was like a lot of G.I. Joe.
As soon as I got there, there were other people grabbing stuff. So I just started putting stuff in a pile. I had, big totes full.
Yep.
And he comes and we ended up buying. We did really well in that.
We bought quite a few stuff.
Good.
Yeah, that's the stuff I love finding, like 80s action figures, video games, obviously. Now, trying to find statues like this is a little more difficult because these are more high-end stuff now, so you don't really see those at garage sales too often. Once in a while, you'll see like a statue from a collector's edition video game. But some of the bigger stuff in here, like the what's that called? The sideshow. The sideshow figures and statues, you rarely see that kind of stuff.
People know what they've got, and they'll just list it themselves online.
That's usually, and that's the case a lot of the time.
That's how people are. I went to a barn sale this weekend, and there's these two older people, like in their 70s, and the guy's going, well, what should I put in this? And the lady's like, I looked it up on eBay, and it's worth it. I'm like,
and I don't.
But they're in their 70s, and they're looking prices up on eBay before they list them at a garage.
They only look it up on eBay and see what people are asking for something. They don't go to the sold listings and see what it's actually worth. So it's kind of hard to negotiate sometimes.
So I don't know if this is a tactic that you use, and I don't know if this makes me a bad person for using it. So I normally will go by the sold price thing, right? Because that's what it's sold for. But there's sort of a flip side to that. And when there's only a few of them listed, I'll go by the asked price because I'll say to them, well, anybody could sell it for what they sold it for, but now you're trying to buy it and it's not available for what it sold for. Now you can only pay what people are asking.
So you're talking about when you're selling?
Then?
Huh?
You're talking about when you're selling.
Yeah, when I'm selling.
I'm saying, not a garage sale.
No.
You can ask anything you want for it.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I agree with your reasoning because I use that reasoning, but I also flip flop it depending on what's advantageous for the sell, right? So if
but we're talking about buying.
I gotcha, but you're buying to sell though. I'm just saying
you're basically talking about your listing price. When you go to list an item, you look and see how many are available, how many sold, and what they sold for, what they're active for.
And sometimes maybe somebody was desperate and let it go for $20, but everybody else is asking $100. So I'll say I'm asking $80, and they'll go, well, it sold for $20. I'm like, well, do you see another one for $20?
Right.
No, I see them 100.
Right.
I'll give it to you for $80.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You could sell it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right.
But we tend to try to list more toward the selling price ourselves. But I mean, it's up to.
We try to stay at the
sometimes the selling price is the actual average,
or at the bottom of the active price. Because we don't want to be at the high end.
No. You want it to sell,
right? So that's why when we find something, we look at the sold price, and we want to be at the very most 50% of that value.
Right.
I like to be in the 30-40% range, just because eBay is going to take 15-20%. And then you got to pay taxes at the end of the year. So you're looking at losing 30% of whatever you sell it for, right, between eBay and taxes. So that's if you get it for 50%, say it's worth $20, and we get it for 10, and we sell it for 20. So we're looking at $4 in eBay fees roughly, and probably another $1.50 in taxes you're gonna have to pay at the end of the year. You're only making like $2 or $3 on it.
Well,
that's why we try to stay away from the lower end $10 items and stick with the higher end items.
Nice.
Yeah, but as far as searching for stuff, I love finding like 80s action figures. Like we found a couple good G.I. Joe lots in the past.
That one guy that you asked about,
he brought them all out of his shed, and he probably had 40 or 50 figures in this thing. It was awesome.
But they weren't in his sale. Steve asked, you got anything like G.I. Joe's? And he goes, I got a lot.
So we bought like 3 totes out. And he didn't charge us much for them at all, but a lot of them we had to go through and repair. So we went on eBay and we bought like the rubber bands and the little things that are inside the figures.
Pieces of things too, which is a good way to do it too. Sometimes
bigger like tanks, bigger items in general. Sometimes it's worth just taking them apart and selling them by the piece. Because you don't have to ship a gigantic. Because when you buy there was one big tank that G.I. Joe. The shipping cost on the loan is almost the value of the tank. So it costs $40-$50 to ship it. That's worth $40-$50. If you break it up and sell it by the piece, because people are always looking for pieces.
But that's a good thing for people to know too, because I wouldn't have thought to do that necessarily before you showed me.
There's a good.
You do really well doing that.
There's a saying that I heard on another guy who does reselling. When in doubt, part it out. When in doubt, part it out.
Well, it always helps if it rhymes.
Yeah, it does. It's more street that way too. So it's more fits into where.
So is this guy from South Central Rome too?
South Central, like South Carolina. Wherever he's from.
Is he from wherever Street Matt's from?
Who knows? Nobody knows where he's from.
He doesn't say.
Nobody knows. But yeah. So like for me, the hardest part, like I said, is getting rid of stuff, especially if it's something along the same lines that I collect. But now I'm at a point where I have it's. I mean, if you look around the room, it's full. If you watch we did like a studio game room tour in an earlier video, it's pretty much jam packed in here. So if I buy something that I want to keep, I have to get rid of something. So that's the struggle with that for me anyway.
The struggle.
And like I said, I don't like listing. I don't like boxing things up. I don't like doing any of that crap. That's half the reason we started this friggin' podcast, because I'm sick of doing eBay. We also have a friend that goes out. He used to sell on like eBay, but when they changed the rules as far as how much reporting was, and you get like a 1099-K form, because now you got to pay taxes on everything, he didn't want to deal with all that. So now he goes out to other sales and buys like crazy shit, and we meet him like once or twice a month, and he basically sells it to us at about 40-50% of value, and then we sell that stuff ourselves. Nice. So it's nice having. So he's like our own picker.
And now this year, several times we see stuff that we didn't buy, and then he buys it and sells it to us.
Well, we sometimes cross over on sales, so we'll see something, and then we're like, I'm not gonna. And then we go meet him, and it's in the back of his truck, and he's selling to us for more than we would have paid for it at the sale in the first place. And I'm like, son of a bitch, man, why are you doing this to us? But he does find some like weird, crazy stuff and stuff that usually it's stuff that I wouldn't look at. like old tools and parts to machinery. And
What was that one thing we just sold? That big heavy. What was that?
that
chainsaw?
blower, some type
Some
of
kind of,
industrial
industrial-
blower. And if I saw that at a sale, I'd be like,
Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, no.
And we sold it for pretty good money,
It was pretty good, yeah. And then he brings us a lot of chainsaws because he deals in chainsaws and stuff.
which we never looked at
No,
before he
no,
started
yeah.
bringing
Right,
them to us.
right.
And they're not the easiest thing.
No, they're a pain in the ass to
They're
ship.
greasy.
And then what's good about him is he'll go through and test everything, and he gives us a sheet itemizing everything he gave us. And he'll put if it works or if it's for parts. And so we just basically go through, we clean it up, and we take pictures, and then we take the bar and chain off and ship it like that because it's a little smaller to do it that way. But that's probably our biggest hassle to ship at this point. Chainsaws, because they're big, they're bulky, and that one we just sold was gigantic.
Yeah, it was a
Oh, my God.
20-something inch saw.
Yeah, it was
Well,
24 inch bar on that
Yeah,
thing. So I mean, the bar on that thing was huge, and then the chainsaw itself was gigantic, and it weighed a
And
lot.
a lot. Yeah, that was heavy.
But
What do you think the official designation for somebody who's into chainsaws is? Is it like chain heads or saw boys? Or
we'll find out. There's got to be a name because
Yeah.
he does wood carvings now
Sawboy
too with
sounds-
chainsaw. Sawboy sounds gay.
Yeah, it sounds like something.
But if you're the one in the hobby, then you don't care.
No, right. Well, yeah, that's true. Well, we got a couple pictures just to give you an example of what we pick up every week. So we'll run through some pictures, kind of tell you what we paid for it and what we think it's worth. And we're starting off with one.
I just want to point out that this particular item that Steve's showing first also talks about proclivities. You know, it's a hose, but it tells you that they're not into kinks. So.
No kink. No kink. Yeah, it just says right on there. But this, we were actually going up to a sale, and Art saw on the side of the road in a pile of free crap. So we walk over, and it's all free. We just grabbed this hose, and we ended up listing this for, I think, like $45.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. It hasn't sold yet, but it was a brand new stainless steel garden hose on the side of the road with a bunch of garbage. There you go.
Next to a garage sale.
Yeah,
right
it was next door to a garage sale we were actually walking up to. But that was kind of a fun find. So $0 invested and maybe hopefully $30-40 we sell it for. That's a pretty good one. And then we do find a lot of what you're going to see frequently is sports equipment, like older baseball gloves and bats and some other golf clubs. Sometimes people go call.
I mean, I sometimes think used mitts should be worth more because somebody already broke it in.
Well, a lot of the new ones they sell now are broken in.
Oh,
Yeah, they have switched because it used to be like when you got a baseball glove,
You gotta break
had
it
to
in.
pound it and soak it in water with a ball, and it was tied up just so you could use it.
Yeah, Francisco Lindor uses them right out. He uses a brand new glove almost every day. Right out of the
ones
pack.
they make now are just so much softer, and they're
crazy.
already their pockets are already formed.
But when you say catcher's mitts, probably bring the best money.
Catcher's mitts probably
Then
are worth
these-
the most. Yeah.
These sell, but
Well, this is a catcher's mitt.
is that a catcher?
That's a left-handed catcher's mitt. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sold. That's sold
So
already.
pretty
or
quick.
we-
Yeah, that one's gone. Yeah, I don't remember. We don't pay usually more than $5.
That was like $5, and I think it was 35 or 45.
sounds about
I was
right.
in that
Yeah.
$40 area.
So not a bad profit margin on that.
Yeah, pretty good.
This was part of. We bought 3 things at this sale. Hold on, we got this and this doll set. Hold on, and Castle Grayskull. Now they wanted.
Didn't we get the
we got one other
the
thing.
telescope there too? Didn't we?
Yes, I haven't taken a picture of
Okay.
that. Yes, we got 4 things there, but they were all listed. I think $15 each, and this particular item did not have a price on it. So we ended up we offered them. So it was what, 45? I think I offered them 30 for all 3 items.
You were making the deal. Yeah, so
Right.
that was your offer.
And then they came back with like 40. So I said, well, if you throw this one in,
we'll do the
how
40.
about the 40? And they were like, absolutely.
And this is nothing.
Yeah. So we bought it's like a nursery set from an old. But what's cool about this is it's got the old actual ivory soap in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't remember the year. I want to say 50s, maybe 60s on this. And then this doll set
Well,
was
what was that thing
1950s. That one we listed
you got
for
that up-
right around $45.
I was shocked when I saw the listing.
Actually, they were all right around 45, believe it or not. This one, the doll set, we listed for 45.
But that one, Peter Pan and Disney, I thought.
Yeah, I thought that would be worth more. Castle Grayskull, I haven't listed yet. It's missing a lot more pieces than I thought. I knew it had pieces inside, so we're going to hold off on that until I find some more pieces for it.
So are you saying there's doubt?
This one, I'm not sure on this one yet. I mean, Castle Grayskull it typically is an awesome thing to find, but its value comes from all the stuff that's inside of it.
Yeah.
Like the throne and the weaponry and some of the little shelves that go inside and the little gun that goes on the.
Well, you should have opened
top
it
part.
so we could see inside.
Well, I only took 1 picture per item because I don't want to eat this whole thing up. And then we bought a telescope that we haven't done anything with yet on that one. So we listed 2 things for $45 each. We're 40 into it. So hopefully, one of those sells are going to be close to making our money back, and then everything else is just profit after that. Like I said, then back along the sports theme, this bag, DeMarini bat bag, we actually picked this up. They threw this in with an
that was with
Xbox
the bat
One system.
That was when the bat and the bat and the glove and the bag,
Yes.
right?
It also came with a helmet, but the helmet had
yes,
value.
that's
so
right.
It was basically a full setup to go play baseball with. So I think we listed this for like $20, the DeMarini bag. But like I said, we paid for an Xbox One controller. Did that come with the games? I don't remember if the games were separate. I think they were separate. I think they had games, but I think they were a separate price.
Yes.
And then we told them we paid the full price on the Xbox if they threw this sports gear in, and they did. So Xbox One, we paid $75 for that and all the sports gear. And we've listed that for $20 so far. I'm pretty sure we sold the bat already. I don't think I have a picture of that because we sold it so fast. But there
were bats further ahead.
That's from a different sale. But it was a Marucci bat, I remember, and had like a nice American flag grip on it. So I thought, oh wow, this thing's pretty awesome. So we sold that. I want to say we sold that for right around $40 or $50.
Bats are pretty good.
Yeah, most bats, mostly composite. We just bought one the other day. Actually, that's the one that's coming up, so I'll save that for a good amount. But then Art found a sale in Rome, and they had a bunch of replica NFL helmets, some Rydell ones, so it was a good name brand. In the boxes. And he wanted what? How much a piece? 50 a piece?
50 a piece. It was nine. It was $450. It would have been for the 9 of them.
So you made him what offer on all of them?
$300.
So he ended up accepting the offer. But there's only 2 teams here. So they had what? 7 Philadelphia Eagles helmets and 2 Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
And these are worth right in the ballpark of 100 to 120. We've only listed 2 so far, 1 of each team. And we haven't sold either one of them yet. So, even if we get down in the 75, 80 range, that would be fine. Because then, like I said, we only got to sell 4 of them. We still have 5 more. So we're basically going to at least double.
I would expect we're just coming into the season, though.
Right, so I'm trying to leave them up there until the season starts.
For a month or 2.
Right. But these are really cool. We took them out. They're a good, solid replica helmet. It's fun. This is the stuff I like finding, too. You found it.
And the guy's uncle was buying these in bulk and making lamps out of them. Oh. So he was drilling through the top. So he had a base with the helmet on it and made a lamp. They were nice.
Why don't you do that?
He had one of them, but okay. Why
don't you make them?
All right, I'll start doing that.
Pretty sweet. All right, then we got, let's see, hold on. I got to get through some pictures here. And these aren't, we got a lot of crap. We got a bunch of, this was just from this past week. This is stuff over the last 2 weeks. Because this is our first segment. If we make this a weekly segment, it might be easier to itemize all this stuff and remember what we paid for.
Do a little pile of what we
purchased. Yeah. So this was a bunch of board games, and they wanted, I think, $1 each on them.
Jeez.
And then Art talked them down $1. So
we had 6. I'm like, what would you do? $5 for $5.
6? Now, a couple of them are worth probably in the 20 range. A couple of them aren't really worth listing, and we haven't gone through them. The biggest problem with open products are if it has all the parts.
Yeah.
All the pieces are there. So and this is what makes these time consuming, which is a pain, especially on that, what's that, Stratego?
This is where my wife comes in.
Yeah, so we have her count all the crap.
She goes through every part of things like this. And I've been starting to save some of the parts for the games that aren't complete, that we can't sell, just so that maybe if we get some of these down the road, we'll have the part we need.
The pieces for them, yes. So even like if some of the Monopoly ones are only worth like $7, $8, if we put a few Monopolies together in one lot, I think that would sell pretty good.
You could bundle them, yeah.
Yeah, because someone that buys Monopoly might want all the Monopoly versions.
And there's Mike, and that's a good bat.
These are the 2 bats you picked up this past weekend. One was a Mike, and that was a 100% composite bat. It's technically not legal to use in leagues anymore because it lacks the certification because the ball comes off this bat hard. Yeah. So when you hit I remember when titanium bats were first introduced in softball, I played third base. Those things scared the shit out of me because that ball was coming at you so fast. I remember one in particular. It was a ground ball. I didn't even have time to put my glove up. That ball was already past me.
That's scary.
I'm like, holy. So I started backing up whenever and it made a different sound too. It made a weird sound, but this is one of those bats that is technically illegal, but some people like to use these in like batting cages.
Sure.
And then this is another, it's a hybrid bat. That's actually a hybrid composite wooden bat. So the barrel part is wooden and the top part is composite.
See the hybrid at the bottom there?
Yeah. So I've never used
seen
one
that
of these
before. I didn't even
knew
know
they
until you
existed
told me
'cause
that's what it was.
They use them for Legion bow.
Oh.
So they actually hit with wood, but they're a little more stable. But I think we bought this bat for 10 and the previous one for 5. And these aren't super valuable, maybe 30, 40 bucks each. So we'll see how those things play out. And then more video games. We found this was at the same sale, actually. Pokemon Sun and a Super Mario Brothers 2 game. This one turns out, I don't know what we were looking at for comps on the day, but this is like a $40 game. Yeah. And then we paid $5 each for it.
Usually Pokemon is a good price.
Well, when we were looking at prices, and I remember you saying, "Oh, it was only like $20."
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
Man, how is that 20 as Pokemon?
Yeah, so this was $39.99 brand new. So the fact that you can still get full price for it used is a good sign.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. And Pokemon tend to really hold their value, if not increase in value.
Yeah, so the best one of these from when I used to work at GameStop back in the day was Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily get double, sometimes 1.5 times the value on even used on
What
those.
were the Pokemon games that we had from that lot? We had
ones
those
from the video game store. They were all like Game Boy Advance and Game
That's what
Boy
you were
games.
replacing the batteries on?
Yes, yeah, because sometimes the battery would
Yeah.
fail, so it wouldn't record. So
Yeah.
I actually looked up a video on how to go in and solder a new battery in, so it worked.
So he did that.
So because it increased the value by like 20,
A lot.
30%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of those are worth $100+, especially if the battery's working in them. And then the Mario game was about a $15, $20 game. Well, like I said, we paid $5 for both of them. We didn't even negotiate on those.
Nice.
And this was the very next sale. This Guitar Hero live set. The guy had it. He said he used it twice. It's still in the box. The only thing he was missing was the game. And then I have so much crap in
was
my
in Rome?
collection. In Elmer Hill Road. So he had 20 on it. So we ended up paying 15. We offered him 15 for it, and he took it. And I came home and I saw that he told me it was missing the game, so he was upfront about it. And it's got one of the most expensive things on this set is the dongle, because everybody loses it, which is basically, I don't think it's necessary for Xbox, but for PlayStation, you have to plug a little USB dongle into the system so it connects to the controller.
Yeah, because it's wireless. So
Right,
it's
right.
just.
Well, with the Xbox, though, it's inherently it's like Bluetooth. So it hooks up right to the system itself, so you don't need them.
I don't know if they hadn't figured it out yet, or they didn't want to work with Bluetooth at the time when they were making these, so it was better for them to make the dongle, because they were just like, well, we don't have to pay anybody else for the technology.
Right. But that is the thing
Well,
that people
so if you can find the
lost.
guitar with the dongle on it, just the dongle is worth
if
the
you
money.
find just the dongle, some of those, I mean, depending on which guitar it is, because some of them have different values, but you're looking at $15 to $50 or $60 just for the dongle.
We got to stop saying dongle.
Well, dongle is important.
We're still saying it.
Still saying it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we brought this home. I went to list it, didn't have the game, but I was looking through my crap, and I actually had the game for it. So it worked out perfectly. So we put it all together, and I think we listed this for like $75. Sell it for probably $65, $70, and we only paid 15 for it, so that wasn't too bad either. And then we saw this at a sale in Rome. They had a little bin full of A Christmas Story figures and bobbleheads. What was that, $1 you wanted
$1.
for?
There was a nice big Ralphie bobblehead too that would have been worth about $18 or so, but that's chipped.
It was broke. And that's another thing you really got to look out for is really look at the things, because sometimes there's a crack or a chip you don't initially see, and you get home and you're like, crap, I can't sell that now. Like that one bobblehead, we bought 2 a couple weeks ago with the hockey figure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and one of them was missing the stick. It was a loose one.
Oh,
and it was out
I
on the
paid
shelf.
$1 for that.
And we bought one in the box. So the one in the box was brand new, and then the other one.
The one in the box was $3.
I didn't even think it had it. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't either. I didn't even see that.
But it wasn't, like I said, and it's still worth like $10, but still. So yeah, we ended up listing these 2 items from that little Christmas Story set, and I think they're NECA, but I didn't. I
couldn't see that on there on the bottom. It said
I usually
something
need a
else.
magnifying glass. I'll check just to make sure. But NECAs it's a good name brand of action figure.
Yes.
So if you see any of those laying around, grab those. But that was, how much was this for?
20.
$20 for the pair. And
think it might have been 15
we paid
though.
$1
I'm not
for everything in
100%
that
sure.
bin.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too bad. Even if the bobblehead was broke, who cares? It's $1. And another video game,
Mario Kart's
Mario
always
Kart
good.
for the Wii is one of the better ones to find. For the Wii, it retains its value. Plus, we actually found the steering wheel list that is. We found at another sale like the previous week. So we just paired them up, put a whole set together. And I want to say like $30 on that till we listed it for. And that's all I have pictures of for the last couple weeks.
Nice.
Yeah. No, you don't go out to sales as much as we do.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a little bit of a different approach, but it's more just because I have a lot of like networking connections I've made where I can sign rather than outright buy. So there's inherent
Well, you have a whole collection that you're selling for somebody for years now, right?
I have a couple. I mean, there's a big one, but there are a couple other people that like have consigned their estates or like their collections with me, and there's strengths and weaknesses with that, right? Like I don't make as much, but I also have no skin in the game in terms of what I've paid on the item.
So there's no risk to you, basically. Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, that's like a comfortable area to be in.
Right.
And we have started doing some of that ourselves.
Yeah, and I mean it's fun, right? You know what I mean? If the thing doesn't sell, you just hand it back.
Yeah.
And
we did a bunch of Tom's books.
I mean, I've got like
Tom.
8 years in on my current eBay store. I think I had one before that like I ended up in the hospital for something, and like I got so reamed with like negative reviews because I couldn't ship stuff out in a timely manner that I was like, do I try to recover or just start fresh? And but by the time I was ready, I was like, I'm just gonna start fresh. But I've got 8 years in on my current one. It's whatever 4,000 sales. After a while, even when you get the bad guys, you can just be like, when somebody else wants to you get the questions every once in a while, like, hey, I just want to make sure this is all good. I saw you had this thing. I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. I recommend you look at the 3,000 plus positive sales versus the 1 or 2 negative.
Right. And I don't. When I buy things. Yeah. I typically, and if they have a good number as far as the total feedback, I don't even really look at the feedback.
Right. I don't read it specifically.
Because dealing with customers now, some of them are just assholes. No, one guy just left us a negative feedback because the post office lost his package.
Right. Why is that your fault?
And he never even asked us a question about it. Just left negative feedback.
Left negative feedback. So I did a search and I looked for it, and I'm like, oh, it's just stuck somewhere. So
he's slightly confrontational about things like this.
Well. Like I said, it's courtesy.
Yes, but it upsets
you. Most things in life, if people are courteous, there's a lot less issues. So all he had to do was say, hey, man, this hasn't gotten here yet. Could you look into it? I would have looked it up and saw it was stuck somewhere. I would have put a claim in and given him his money back immediately.
I also want to kind of, and I mean, maybe this is the wrong thing to do it, but I also try to put a little bit of the responsibility back on the buyer as well, because I say to them, all right, well, you bought the thing for me, so I did my part of having the thing listed, packing the thing up, sending it to you, adding tracking, right? Is it too much to ask for you to call the post office if you haven't gotten your thing yet?
They could use the tracking. I mean, you give them the tracking number, go to the website and track it.
Right.
And see where the last spot it was.
But the thing that gets me is when they like act as if like I have some special secret information that is more than what they have.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, so if I haven't responded in a timely manner, that's partly on me. But you also could be seeking out the information through the same channels that I will. And while you've been waiting to hear back from me.
And as far as he knows, you could have sold 500 items and he's only worried about one. Just look up your own package. I agree.
One person actually asked me, don't you check on the package you send out? I'm like, no, I send out hundreds of packages.
Yeah, why would I?
So you check on yours and let me know if there's a problem and I'll take care of it. But if you're polite about it, if I screw up and I send something and it breaks in the packaging, we cover 100. Obviously, that's my fault. I take full responsibility for it.
I use the big boxes as an example all the time, right? Because they're the biggest sellers in the world. I said, you think Walmart is going to call you up and ask you how those bananas were?
Right.
If you have a problem with the bananas, you bring the bananas back and tell us that there was a problem with the bananas.
And produce, going in, it's
dicey.
You're taking your chances.
It bruises easily, just like our.
Nice.
Well, it was a 90-pound dumbbell.
Well, it's a hurt donut. It's a Hertz donut.
That was, I barely flicked you and you friggin' bruised up. Ridiculous.
Oh my God.
I don't want to talk about it.
But as far as the feedback goes, it used to be where you could leave feedback or negative feedback to a buyer, but you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You can only leave no feedback or positive feedback.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, that's bullshit. Because now a lot of times
it gives them a lot of power.
A lot of times people buy stuff to replace something that they have that broke and they'll set up a return and send their broken item back to you, which is it's fraud.
Constantly,
and there's really
people
no way to
complain and try to get a little money off of the deal.
Yes, that happens all the time. It happens
every week.
It happens frequently.
And the only real way to combat it is you say, oh, no, I'll happily give you a full refund. Just send me the thing back. And a lot of times people are just like, I don't want to go through the trouble. And you stop hearing from them.
Exactly. That happened. Or they'll say, oh, never mind. I fixed what was broken. I've had that happen numerous times.
Or I'll live with it.
That irritates me so much. And we've had people where we approve a return, send them a label, so we have to pay shipping. When we refund them, you got to refund them the purchase price and the shipping price.
And sometimes you got to pay for a secondary label.
We pay for the label to have them send it back. And when they send me something that I didn't send them, or I know they specifically did something that item to send it back, I'll keep their store on file. And if I see that they have listings, I'll set up another store and buy something from them just to do the same thing to them. That's how vindictive I am.
He's very vindictive.
I'm very vindictive when someone wrongs me like that. Yeah, because that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not Walmart. We're not Amazon.
No, people are. There's a lot of crooked people. I couldn't believe it because when that first started happening, you're like, people would write to us and complain. I'm like, Steve, we got to do something. He's like, he's just trying to get money back. I'm like, no, I think he really means it. So he does the thing, like you said. He's like, just send it back and we'll refund your money. And then they're like, no, I guess this is fine.
Yeah, I'll fix
I'm like,
it.
holy crap.
Yeah, that's all they're doing is trying to get
time.
a few dollars back. It's so irritating. Now, if it's something, they'll send a picture of it and something chipped that wasn't chipped in our pictures, I'm going to give them some money back. Because I know that's our fault. I don't think they would intentionally break something they specifically have. If it's the listing that we put up and there's nothing wrong with it, and then they actually take pictures and send me something that I missed or the something that happened in shipping, we'll give them we'll see, well, what would you like to make? What'll make it right?
Speaking of that, remember the snow globes? We had a little trouble mailing out snow globes.
Are tough. Yeah.
I'd stay away from snow globes if I were you.
I try to stay away from all like
that was for a
glassware
friend
now.
too. We were selling those for a friend.
Yeah.
I got one that I had listed for a long time that I ended up having to take off because somebody asked me to take pictures of it, and the water in the globe had actually changed color. And I was like, I mean, here's the pictures, but like I said, I also think I'm just going to take this down because I don't want you to get this and then get upset that the color is brown in this water.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was
and the snow globe, they do that too. The water tends to change if it's left in sunlight.
It wasn't even a snow globe. It was a water globe, and it was a creature of the Black Lagoon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but you can't see shit in there now because it looks like shit.
Because that lagoon is getting dirty.
Actually, is that with his hand and he's holding a girl or something in the snow globe? I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a cool one.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that one before because that was on my want list at one point.
Well, we don't want to get going too long on this.
Yeah, well, this has been long.
Yeah, long.
As it is. We're going to try to maybe make this
It's
a
like
weekly
40
segment
minutes.
so we can talk about things we bought this week,
kind
things
of
we sold.
introductory to get you guys in on the
But
ground floor.
there's a lot more work to selling things on eBay than you'd think of offhand. So these people that say this is what eBay is, well, then I'm like, well, then put it on eBay because it's a lot more work than you think.
And if you have a question, let us know in the comments, and we'll answer it with the next segment we do.
Unless it's a stupid question, then we'll make a separate company to respond to you with.
Steve will,
Oh yeah.
and he'll buy something from you. And
Don't get me going. I'll get all fired. Steve will get fired up. But all right, yeah. Any questions? Leave them in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.
This has been another episode of Get Steve Going. I mean, 2 studs and a dud.
That doesn't take much.
That does not.
Thank you for watching Two Studs and a Dud. Please like, subscribe, and share this video.